What's going on, everybody? This is Dave and welcome back to a brand new experiment. Today we're doing Dennis Bergkamp as Arsenal manager. Now there were so many players I could have picked for Arsenal. Someone actually requested Patrick Vieira. I've seen someone say Thierry Henry. There's been a couple of other names. And for me, it's been difficult, so I will probably have to do another Arsenal video, maybe Henry or Vieira as boss. But for the first one, we're going to be doing Dennis Bergkamp. He's actually a coach at Ajax as we speak, but obviously on the game, I've left Wenger without a club, put Bergkamp in charge of Arsenal on a 10-year contract. I actually didn't decide that wage, so the board must have come up with that wage of almost 80 grand a week. But his stats are pretty, they're okay, they're decent. Attacking at 16, he's got good mental and technical at 19. Adaptability 16, determination 17. It's pretty strong coaching stats, to be fair to him. Now, he's been at Ajax for about 6 years as a coach. He was at Arsenal for 11 years as a player. Of course, he was at Ajax before that as well as a player. But we're going to see what he's dealing with this Arsenal team. As we speak, they're predicted to finish 4th in the league. So that's where we're going to be kind of seeing Dennis Bergkamp see his side, hopefully, if all things go well. Of course, he's a legend at the club, along with the rights of Ian Wright. Tony Adams was another name mentioned for me to do a video with. Vieira, Henry. There's loads mentioned there. But obviously, we're going to be doing this one on Dennis Bergkamp, a legend at the club. So he's got the backing of the fans and the board. But it'll be interesting to see how he gets on. So we're going to holiday through the first season, see his transfers, see how his season went in all competitions, see the best players, and of course see if he's still in a job and how well he's been doing. So let's skip forward the first season and see how well he does. So first season completed with Dennis Bergkamp at the Arsenal helm. So how has the Dutchman done in his first season at the Emirates? Now there's only one way to find out. Now, I've gone a little further than expected, but here we're going to click here. He's finished 5th in the league, so just below the expectation. Lost out on 1 point to a Champions League place. City ended up grabbing it. Had a slightly better goal difference than Arsenal, but they finished miles ahead of Liverpool in 6th place, who only had 62 points, 14 points ahead of them. A plus 20 goal difference over Liverpool as well. So really, it was good going on that front. And they were unfortunate there. On another day, they would have possibly picked up results. But it has cost them a Champions League place, which I think Arsenal would have been expecting. So is Bergkamp still in the job? I expect him to be so. Oh, no, he's not. Now, he's either walked, got a better job, which would be hard as Arsenal is such a big club, or he's been sacked within a season. As the first casualty in my group of experiments within the first season. And yeah, he's been sacked after 326 days in charge. Now, he's lasted a whole season, but they must have sacked him. Probably weren't happy with, he didn't really hit any targets. But in my eyes, if you look at these win percentage here, he's done very well. He's won over 50% of his games, about 60%, which isn't bad going at all for the first season after having Wenger in charge for so long. Good transition period in my eyes, and unfortunately he's lost his job. They brought in Carlo Ancelotti, who's a very decent manager, in replacement. But who did Bergkamp bring in originally? So he brought in Laporte from Bilbao, a bit of a hefty fee of 35.5 million, but he's a very decent player in this game. Lucas Prato from Atletico Mineiro, and Pione Sisto from FC Midtjylland, who's a very promising young winger. Paulista and Monreal left for a combined fee of 7.7 million. They went to Lazio and Shakhtar respectively. A couple of lads went out on loan, but I'm pretty surprised. Now, how did they do on the schedule for now? Champions League, they got to the quarter-final. Unfortunately, they lost on away goals, which isn't bad going at all. I mean, Atletico Madrid is such a decent team. Got to the final a couple of years ago. On another day again, conceded one less goal, they would have been through into the semi-final, which in my eyes would have been a huge achievement for Dennis Bergkamp and his side. I had a pretty basic group of Partizan, PSV and Dinamo Kiev. They looked like they got through that with some ease. They only lost the one game, dropped points in 2 games overall. In the Capital One Cup quarterfinals, they lost to the eventual Premier League champions Manchester United 2-1, which is understandable, I suppose. They were 2-0 down pretty early on. Got a consolation goal late on. Community Shield, fortunately they didn't win that. Lost on penalties. Ozil opening it up for Arsenal, but Diego Costa equalising, and they obviously won And FA Cup, they didn't win that either. It's a tournament Arsenal normally like to do well in, but they lost to Newcastle 3 goals to 1 there, which they probably won't be impressed with, especially they went 2-0 down after 15 minutes. Premier League, they went pretty consistently. They didn't do too bad at all. Went almost 12 games unbeaten here. And they only lost 3 games in the whole of 2016, which isn't bad at all. So I'm very surprised to see Bergkamp go in my eyes. I mean, his best 11 here, played a 4-1-2-2-1. That was his main formation he liked to use. As you can see, new players didn't really come in. Laporte spent almost 40 million on him. Only got 20 games. He must have used Mertesacker and Koscielny more consistently. They got a decent rating. Laporte, I think one of the highest average ratings in the squad though. Bar Mesut Ozil. 35 goals for Alexis Sanchez, which isn't bad going at all. Theo Walcott did okay. He must have been the best striker. Olivier Giroud grabbed a few more games than him, but scored the same amount of goals. But overall, I am very surprised that Dennis Bergkamp has been sacked as manager of Arsenal. I thought he did a very decent job as the boss. Obviously, unfortunately, he's lost his job. But in my eyes, did an okay job. First season, obviously, got the transition period of Wenger being at the club for so long, making all the calls. He's gone. And unfortunately, it has cost Dennis Bergkamp his job, though. So, guys, if you did enjoy this episode, please do drop me a like down below. I do appreciate it. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. And please do leave me a comment of an old club legend that you would like to see back at your club as a manager. Follow me over on Twitter, which is @DaveAsAPartyFM. But, guys, until next time, I'll see you later.